All right. Ready to level up your travel vocab?
Level up.
Yeah. Today we're going deep on all those advanced English words and phrases that'll seriously make your travels way better.
Ah, I see. So taking travel English to the next level then.
Exactly. And we've got this super detailed lesson plan as our guide, but it's not just your typical vocab list,
More like a treasure trove of hidden gems.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Kinda. We're talking the kind of words and phrases that help you blend in with locals, navigate, those kind of tricky travel situations.
And maybe even impress your fellow travelers.
Oh, for sure. All right. So this lesson plan kicks off with 10, count 'em, 10 advanced travel words and phrases.
Some you might recognize, others will.
Might be totally new.
You got it. And where better to begin than with the word itinerary? It's pretty basic travel terms.
Right. Everyone knows itinerary, right?
Sure, but it's so much more than just a list of places you're going.
Okay, so what makes a good itinerary then?
Well, a well-crafted itinerary can really make the difference between a whirlwind tour and a truly immersive experience,
Ooh, speaking of immersive experiences, that's actually another term from this lesson plan. And it's all about really connecting with the place you're visiting.
Going beyond just the surface level, right?
Totally. At that time I took a cooking class in Thailand and learned to make pad thai from a local chef. It wasn't just about the food, it was the whole experience.
Sharing stories, laughter, traditions, the heart of cultural immersion.
Exactly. Now that's what travel's all about.
Absolutely. And sometimes the best way to have those kinds of experiences is to, venture off the beaten path a bit.
Ooh, off the beaten path.
Yeah.
I like that. It's another one from our list.
It is. And it's all about, embracing the unexpected.
Straying from those crowded tourist spots.
Exactly. Finding those hidden gems that make a trip truly special,
I'm all about those hidden gems.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, have you ever taken the scenic route on a road trip?
Oh, many times.
Yeah?
Sure, it might take a bit longer.
But those views, though.
Breathtaking. Plus all the charming little stops along the way.
Totally worth it. It's
Right.
sometimes the journey is just as important as the destination, right?
Right. And sometimes those scenic routes lead to places where the best way to explore is, backpacking.
Backpacking. So we're talking minimalist travel here.
Exactly. It's about packing light, immersing yourself in nature.
Sounds adventurous.
It can be. Definitely a great way to experience a different kind of freedom.
Okay, so backpacking adventures aside, we should probably touch on some of the more practical stuff too, right?
Right. Like visa requirements, which are absolutely essential for international travel.
Yeah, definitely don't want to get stuck at the border.
Exactly. A little research beforehand can save a lot of headaches later.
Totally agree. And while we're talking about planning ahead, travel insurance is another important one that people sometimes forget.
Oh, for sure. Imagine dealing with a medical emergency or lost luggage in a foreign country without insurance. It could turn a dream trip into a nightmare.
Yikes, no thanks. Okay, so we've covered itineraries, cultural immersion, venturing off the beaten path, backpacking, scenic routes, visa requirements, and travel insurance. Phew.
Uh-huh. We've been busy, but there's more. We can't forget about jet lag, which is something I'm sure we've all experienced at some point.
Ugh, jet lag. It's the worst.
It can really throw a wrench in your travel plans, that's for sure.
But maybe there's some ways to make it less terrible.
There are. Understanding what causes it and having a few strategies to combat it can help a lot.
Okay, like what? Spill the secrets.
Well, staying hydrated, strategic napping, and adjusting to the local time zone as quickly as possible can make a big difference.
Got it. Now, on to another travel reality. Red-eye flights. I have such a love-hate relationship with them.
I get it. The time-saving aspect is great, but arriving exhausted, not so much.
Right, so it's all about weighing the pros and cons, I guess.
Exactly. Some people swear by them, others avoid them like the plague. It really depends on your travel style and budget.
True. All right, so we've tackled 10 advanced travel words and phrases. But wait, there's more.
Buckle up. It's time to explore the colorful world of idiomatic expressions.
Idiomatic expressions. Now we're talking.
They're like the spices of language. They add flavor, personality, and a touch of humor to your conversations.
So mastering a few travel-related idioms can make you sound more fluent and natural.
Exactly. So you're ready to hit the road and explore these idioms together?
Hit the road. Love it. Let's go.
So this first idiom, it's a classic, hit the road. Just perfectly captures that feeling, when you're about to head off on some new adventure.
Yeah, totally. There's definitely an energy to it. All right, let's go.
Exactly. And speaking of going, once you're out there on that adventure, you might find yourself living out of a suitcase.
Living out of a suitcase, especially if you're on a longer trip, right? Or like backpacking.
Exactly. It kind of paints this picture, of someone who's always on the move, embracing that kind of transient lifestyle.
Yeah, not always glamorous, but definitely has its appeal.
Oh, for sure. Especially for someone with, well, wanderlust.
Ooh, wanderlust. Another good one. That deep yearning to explore, see new cultures, all that.
Yeah. It's like it keeps you searching for that next adventure, that next stamp in your passport.
That next story to tell.
Exactly. Wanderlust is a powerful thing, and it often leads people to those hidden gems we were talking about, embracing the unexpected.
And sometimes the unexpected comes in the form of catching the travel bug.
Catching the travel bug. I like that one.
It implies that loving travel is contagious, right? Like once you've experienced it.
You can't get enough. It's like a spark that ignites this passion for, well, discovery, seeing the world.
Totally. And for those who really, really embrace that spontaneity, there's flying by the seat of your pants.
Ah, yes. Flying by the seat of your pants. That describes a more unplanned approach to travel, right? Open to detours, serendipitous encounters, all that.
It reminds me of this trip I took to Italy a few years back. I kind of had an itinerary, but decided to just fly by the seat of my pants for a few days, just wander wherever.
Sounds amazing.
It was. I ended up in this tiny village in Tuscany, not on any tourist map, but so memorable.
Those unplanned moments often turn out to be the best ones, don't they?
For sure. Okay, so beyond just, vocab and idioms, this lesson plan goes even further. It's got these fun role-playing scenarios like simulating real-life travel situations.
Oh, yeah, those are great, like mini rehearsals for your next trip.
Exactly. They make you use all the stuff you've learned, but in conversation, which helps you build confidence, fluency.
Absolutely. Like there's one where you're planning a trip with a friend, but you have different travel styles.
Oh, yeah, that happens all the time.
Right. So you have to negotiate, compromise, and actually come up with an itinerary that works for both of you.
I love that. What else?
Well, there's another one where you've missed your flight. Talk about stressful.
Ugh, the worst.
So it forces you to figure out how to deal with that situation, talk to airport staff, find a solution.
Super practical skills to have.
For sure. And then to really immerse yourself in travel English, the lesson plan suggests checking out travel vlogs and podcasts.
Oh, yeah, I love those. It's like you're hearing real people using English in like real travel situations.
Exactly. Plus, it's just a fun way to learn, right?
Totally. And speaking of fun, this lesson plan ends with a really cool homework assignment. It asks you to write about your dream trip.
Using all the vocab and expressions we've learned.
Yeah, but it's more than just showing off what you've learned.
It's about tapping into that wanderlust we were talking about.
And putting your travel aspirations into words.
It's like planting a seed for future adventures.
I love that. Okay, so what's the takeaway from all this?
Well, we've definitely uncovered a ton of amazing travel vocabulary and expressions, from practical terms to, those fun idioms.
But it's also about realizing that language is more than just a tool, right? It's a key to understanding the world and even ourselves. I like that. So it's not just about seeing the sights. It's about like fully experiencing the world, connecting with people, and coming away with a deeper understanding.
Absolutely. And knowing travel English can seriously enhance those experiences, making your adventures even more, meaningful.
Totally agree. Okay, so before we wrap up, I have a final thought-provoking question for you. Imagine you could go on your dream trip anywhere, no limits.
Sounds amazing.
Using all the vocabulary and expressions we've talked about today, how would you describe that trip?
Ooh, good question.
Where would you go? What kind of adventures would you have? Who would you bring along?
Would you go for that cultural immersion, like learning a traditional dance in Bali?
Or maybe you'd be more off the beaten path, hiking to some remote monastery in the Himalayas.
Ooh, or what about like living out of a suitcase for a whole year, backpacking across Southeast Asia? Talk about flying by the seat of your pants.
Okay, so many amazing possibilities. Whatever your dream trip looks like, I want to challenge you. Take a minute, let your imagination go wild, and describe it.
Using all that awesome vocab we've been talking about, right?
Exactly. Because when you actually put it into words...
It's not just daydreaming anymore. It's like the first step to making it real.
Right. And hey, maybe someday you'll be using those same words to tell everyone about your incredible adventures.
I love that.
So that wraps up our deep dive into the world of advanced travel English. We've covered so much. Practical terms, those fun idioms, even practice using them in like real life situations.
But the biggest takeaway, I think, is that language is more than just words. It's this powerful tool that helps us understand the world, connect with people, and make our travel experiences so much richer.
Couldn't have said it better myself. So keep that wanderlust alive, keep exploring, keep learning, and keep sharing those amazing stories.
Safe travels, everyone.
And happy adventures.